It's summertime, and that means that there's not really a lot of football action to sink your teeth into right now. And before you mentioned that to me, no, we're not counting the Nations League or the qualifiers for the Euro 2024. All of that just seems like overkill. But there is one thing that really has the attention of football fans the world over, and that is the fact that the transfer window has opened in England, and what's more, will be opening around the world in about a week's time. That's right, July 1st is the official date when the transfer window in Europe opens, and that means that player trading can officially start taking place between clubs in Europe. Of course, what that does more often than not is it means that you'll get a lot of transfer rumors, not all of which are necessarily real in any way, shape or form. But don't worry about authenticity when it comes to us over here at Sports Trick, because what we do is we'll vet these rumors, go through what seem like the more credible ones, and bring them all to you in this very video. So without further ado, let's get started and check out some of the more interesting transfer rumors that have been doing the rounds recently. First off is one that has a lot of people a little annoyed, and it's not just one but a series of 3 players who will be leaving Chelsea for Saudi Arabian clubs. The first of them being that Hakim Ziyech has been linked to Al Nassr. Yes, that's the same Al Nassr where Cristiano Ronaldo is currently plying his trade, and Ziyech, who you remember played a key part in Morocco actually making it all the way to the semi-finals of the FIFA World Cup, and not just the semis but also a 3rd place finish. Well, he is being linked with a move to Al Nassr, and one of the reasons for that being, of course, is the fact that they would be increasing his wages significantly, and that Ziyech, someone who's past 30, would be looking for his last big payday in the world of football. That's the reason why he would be keen on joining Al Nassr. Another Chelsea player on big wages who is being transferred to another club in Saudi Arabia, Edouard Mendy, the hero of Chelsea's 2020-21 Champions League win, now an unwanted player, could very well be on his way to Al Ahly. Now again, why this is happening is pretty obvious. Mendy is very much fallen down the pecking order at Stamford Bridge, and truth be told, even Kepa Arrizabalaga doesn't really inspire as much confidence, but Mendy is clearly the one who they'd be easier to get rid of first. Don't forget, Mendy being a Muslim would also be of some attraction to Saudi Arabia, who would want to bring in high-profile Muslim players to make the league seem more accessible to their own population as well. And in that regard, there's yet another player they've targeted, Mendy's Senegal teammate Kalidou Koulibaly, who is being linked with a move to Al Hilal. Now, Koulibaly, again, someone who in many ways could be considered a failure of a signing for Chelsea. Don't forget, he joined the club only last summer for a big money deal on hefty wages, has not been able to justify the outlay that Chelsea put on him. Just a season later, Chelsea are like, okay, we would rather bring through younger players than someone who's in his 30s and probably winding down, already on the decline, which is why, again, it makes sense that Saudi Arabia would be a potential destination for Koulibaly. Next rumor, interesting one to talk about, and another Chelsea player, but this time to a Premier League club. Mateo Kovacic to Manchester City is all but a done deal. Personal terms have been agreed between the Croatian and Manchester City, and what's more, the deal is only hinging on whether or not Chelsea and City can agree a fee. Now, an opening bid has been tabled that's expected to be rejected, but it is expected that the deal will go through because the player is keen, and the club are also keen to get rid due to the fact that he's kind of getting up there in age and has only a year left on his contract and is not keen to renew said contract. So whatever fee it is that City eventually offer, Chelsea will most likely take, just maybe asking for a couple million more here or there. And another Chelsea player, this time one who's much younger, could be on his way to a rival club. Well, Kai Havertz to Arsenal does seem like a done deal at this point, and that's a signing which, truth be told, for Arsenal fans can be very good, because again, Havertz hasn't really been that great for Chelsea, but the potential, the upside is there for all to see. The only reason Chelsea would seem keen to actually sell is because A, like Kovacic, he too is not keen to commit to a new deal, and B, they'd rather get some money from him than lose him on a free, even if that means selling him to Arsenal. Because again, if his heart is set on an Arsenal move, he most likely want to in fact go to Arsenal even when his contract expires, so why not get some money out of the club itself? And one of the reasons Chelsea would be so keen to sell is because they're looking to balance the books in terms of player signings, and we'll be doing a detailed video on that in that regard, so stay tuned for that. But it is a bit of a time for a fire sale at Chelsea, and it's easy to understand why. They need to be financial fair play compliant, and the reason for that is because they've spent a lot of money in the previous 2 windows, so now they need to supplement that by selling some players, and these appear to be the players who will be out of the door, if not many more. A non-Chelsea related rumor now, and Angel Di Maria, who's currently unwanted at Juventus, will most likely be having a homecoming of sorts because he's being linked with a return to Benfica. Now, Benfica in Portugal were that club who really gave Di Maria, the space to really showcase his talent in Europe. He had really good times over there, and it was off the back of some very strong, consistent performances for the Portuguese side that he ended up getting signed to Real Madrid. From there on, of course, he's had a bit of a journeyman career, Manchester United, PSG, now Juventus, but it's no denying the fact that the quality is still there, and more importantly, he hasn't lost a step in terms of his physicality, speed, work rate, and of course finishing and chance creating. Would be a really good signing for Benfica if they can pull it off. Another interesting signing, and this one with major ramifications for English football really, Sandro Tonali, who's been one of the stars of AC Milan's recent resurgence, one of those midfielders who's really easy on the eye to watch, but also very combative, very physical, could be on his way to Newcastle for what would be a record transfer fee for the club. Now, this in itself is a massive thing because really the club's midfielder is already really good. And if you have someone like a Bruno Guimaraes playing alongside Sandro Tonali, chef's kiss. It'll be really good to watch. And the deal could be 60 million euros, if not more than that, depending on the kind of add-ons that will be added to this particular deal. And another move involving an Italian player based in Milan, but we're talking about Nicolo Barella. Now, Barella is someone who is destined to depart Inter Milan this summer. He doesn't seem keen on signing a new deal, is at the peak of his powers, has been linked to a lot of clubs, and Manchester United are the latest club to be linked to him. Reason for that, pretty obvious. Manchester United are in desperate need of midfield reinforcements, and Barella is someone who has obvious qualities that would appeal to Erik ten Hag and the hierarchy at Old Trafford. Whether a deal gets done, that remains to be seen, but the interest is concrete. And if Manchester United can sign both Barella as well as Mason Mount from Chelsea, another player who is going to be departing Stamford Bridge, or could well be, so it's a fire sale of sorts at Stamford Bridge at this point, then that's a really good midfield for Manchester United. And that's it from us in this edition of the Transfer Rumour Roundup. Thank you guys so much for joining us. If you enjoyed it, please don't forget to like this video, share it with your friends, subscribe to the channel, tap the bell icon, leave us a comment, follow us on Instagram, Twitter and Facebook. Don't forget to download the SportsTak app as well. Plus, if you're already on the channel, go ahead and check out some other videos that we've done. But for now, from my side, well, goodbye.